Let's just go live. Let's go live. Let's not wait. All right? Let's just go live. Let's not wait. Let's go live. Let's not, all right? Let's not wait for anyone. Let's just go live, everyone. Let's not wait for anyone. Let's just go live, right? Let's just go live, everyone, because that's what we do. We go hard, um, right? That's what we got to do, everyone. Let's go live because we don't care what you got to say, right? How's everyone doing? I hope everyone's doing good. My name is Celso Garcia, and I'm live on Twitch, live on, let me see what other sources I'm on. I'm on everything. I'm on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, Twitch, right? And so I appreciate you joining me today. Do me a favor. The first thing you should do is share the live, share it to other channels, wherever you can. We're going to talk about a lot of deep issues. So I want you to speak about it and, right, speak about it, share it with other people, right? Share it with other people. I'm still getting the hang of it, right? I'm still getting the hang of the channel, working it, how to work it. Um, Welcome, viewer. Thank you for joining and chat away, right? This is the funny thing I'm seeing that 50 cents offers to pay New York City mayoral candidate Zohran Mandani 256K so he could get lost. He doesn't want his money being taxed, right? That's his main thing. He doesn't want his money being taxed. He's against taxing the rich. He doesn't want to be taxed the heavy amount that Zoran said he will tax him. And he was just a candidate at the time. But Zoran won, and he's not going away. So there's been a lot of drama happening because of everything Zoran has done, right? A lot of drama. I think way too much drama, right? Um, there's people that are fans, but definitely people that are not, um, people that are rich don't like him, right? Right? A lot of people don't like Zoran, but is he perfect? No. You want him to be perfect? Yes. The standard is that they have so hold such a higher standard to a democratic socialist politician, a lot higher standard than to any other politician, right? Than to any other politician. Everyone holds a higher standard to him than to any other politician, unfortunately. That's just a reality. Um, we have different standards for politicians. We let Trump get away with so much, and it always makes me wonder why. Why do you let Trump get away with so much, but then you don't let Zoran get away with so much? Um, I mean, I want the rich to be taxed. Don't get me wrong. Once again, I want the rich to be taxed because if you're making a lot less money, any type of tax against you is a lot more money, right? If you make less money, right? If you pay way more taxes than the rich people are paying, to me, that's very unfair, right? Because it's just a reality that you're struggling to pay bills. A larger percentage of your money is going towards rent. A larger percentage of your utilities is going towards rent. So it's just a reality that you're paying way more than what you think you're paying, right? So it's that easy. And not every rich person is against taxing them, right? Not every rich person is against taxing them. Some of them are okay with being taxed. Some are okay with being taxed. Let me show you an example.
In New York, rent
Mark
is crushing
Ruffalo.
people. Childcare now costs over $20,000 a year. Policies keep making billionaires richer while working families endure cuts to essential services. So last year, over 1 million New Yorkers came together to vote for Mayor Mamdani's affordability agenda. So who's getting in the way? Governor Kathy Hochul has a choice to make. You protect working families and tax the rich, or make Trump's cuts worse by forcing everyday people to pay more. 60% of New Yorkers, like me, agree that we should tax billionaires and corporations to fund childcare, housing, and transit. Working people shouldn't be the ones always stuck with the bill. This Wednesday, February 25th, thousands of folks are going to Albany to send Kathy Hochul one clear message.
And they
Tax
show
the
up to
rich for a
Albany.
New York that we can all afford. They can handle it.
And a lot of people did show up. They put a lot of pressure on Kathy Hochul. They put a lot of pressure on the state assembly. They put a lot of pressure on the state senate, and they're gonna introduce the oh, tax the rich proposal. And Kathy Hochul is still opposing it, but she knows that the majority of people are with it, including rich people like like Mark Ruffalo, right? He's okay with taxing the rich, right? So
State Democratic lawmakers plan to propose a tax increase on wealthy New Yorkers, which is in line with Mayor Zohran Mamdani's Tax the Rich agenda.
We are
bam, she's upset, right? Now they all lined up along with Zoran, and they're willing to tax the rich.
certainly, again, trying to meet the moment, and revenue raisers will certainly be part of our package.
Governor Kathy Hochul has repeatedly said no to the idea, and it's up to the state government to modify income taxes. To bridge a $5.3.
So Kathy Hochul is now under pressure. She's the only one that's saying she doesn't want to tax the rich. She's not willing to tax the rich. She doesn't believe in taxing the rich. She's the only one standing in the way right now. And it'll be crazy if in an election year it gets proposed, she rejects it, and they override her veto. That will be even worse for her politically. So the best thing she could do is just tax the rich. That's it. Just do what is right. Do what the majority of people want, which is for the rich to be taxed.
$1 billion budget gap. Mamdani said that wealthy people and corporations will need to be taxed more, or he'll have to raise property taxes. Here's what he said on Thursday.
And mind you, we had a huge tax, right? We used to corporations and the rich in the 1960s used to pay a lot more taxes, right? Once again, corporations and the rich used to pay a lot more taxes in the 1960s than they do now. They've gotten huge tax breaks on top of tax breaks with the write-offs that they get. They just been enjoying the fruits of their work, right? they've been getting richer, and there's no way to stop them. There's no way to stop them, right? There's no way to stop them. They just enjoying the fruits of their labor. Who's going to tell them that they cannot pay, that they will have to pay more taxes? There's only certain people that are willing to allow them to tax the rich, right? Share it on Facebook, everyone, and on YouTube. Obviously, they don't like this topic. They don't like the topics that I bring up. So they're going to do everything in their power not to let me spread this message, right? So let's keep listening to Zohran, what he had to say about taxing the rich.
Quite some time left in the budget process. I'm encouraged by the conversations we're having.
And here's Hochul's response to being on opposing sides as the mayor and some Democratic lawmakers.
I'm not frustrated. I know how to do this. The legislature, for example, has put in tax increases every year I've been governor. I know how to negotiate.
The state assembly and senate will release budget proposals next week, kicking off negotiations between the legislature and the governor's office.
And
the complete budget is due on April 1st. State Democratic lawmakers plan to propose a tax increase on wealthy New Yorkers, which is in line with Mayor Zohran Mamdani's Tax the Rich agenda.
So they're all stacking up against Kathy Hochul. And Kathy Hochul, I think, is going to have to cave in. As much as she doesn't like it, she's going to have to cave in. She's going to have to cave in.
If we were to increase state taxes on these
Jabari
same class
Pritzker.
of ultra rich by $10 billion this year, would they be paying more or less in taxes than they were before HR 1?
We estimate that their tax savings from HR 1 sum to $12 billion. So in total, that would be less.
So we could raise $10 billion new state taxes this year on the ultra rich, and they would still be getting a tax cut from last year.
Correct.
Thank you. If we were to increase state taxes on these same.
So people are getting huge tax breaks no matter what. They're going to be having a big tax break. So it's just pretty much a reality that they have a tax break already. And they're going to already have a huge tax break. So them paying a little bit more is not going to hurt anyone. It's not going to hurt them. They could pay what they have to pay to help feed the people in the state, to help their workers be able to afford their bills and afford inflation and afford the higher prices of gas and electricity and gasoline and just overall surviving in one of the most expensive cities in the world. But we have the most expensive cities in the world, but then we have the most rich in the world also on top of that. It's like stacked against the common person. Very stacked. And we got to do something about it. They don't want to talk about it. A lot of politicians want to avoid the question, and it can't be avoided, right? We got to address it.
If you think you're struggling to get by in New York City now, just wait until the summer hits, because if Kathy Hochul gets her way, things are about to get a whole lot worse. Welcome to the Tax the Rich Report. In the face of an affordability crisis so severe that hundreds of thousands of working class New Yorkers have been forced out of their homes, where millions of New Yorkers are set to lose their health insurance and SNAP benefits thanks to Republicans' big billionaire handout bill, where we are staring down a multi-billion-dollar city budget deficit, Governor Kathy Hochul is co-signing Trump's $12 billion tax break for the ultra-wealthy, depriving us of the funds we need to keep New Yorkers afloat and thriving. Look, there are only two options here. We can either A, make the rich pay what they owe so we can invest in the programs and services that New Yorkers rely on and voted for, or B, slash critical services and force working class New Yorkers deeper into poverty so the billionaires can withhold the $12 billion that they owe. So let's be very clear. When Kathy Hochul says raising taxes on the rich is a non-starter, what she is actually saying is, I want my billionaire.
She wants her billionaires to be good, right? To be able to donate to her campaign, to be able to help her, to be able to help her businesses and help her husband and help everyone else that is rich keep being rich.
Mamdani, a Democratic socialist, has called for higher city taxes on millionaires and major corporations. Governor Kathy Hochul opposes those taxes, but a new Siena poll found that 54% of state residents approve compared to 29% who.
So people being like, is she joking? She doesn't see. You see, the state residents approve, 54% approve, 29% disapprove. New York City residents, 62% approve, 21% disapprove. So there's only 29% of people that say, oh, don't tax the rich. They're going to move. There's only a small percentage of people that actually believe all the baloney that they're being fed, right? All the baloney they're being fed.
Don't. It's even more so among city residents. 62% approve to just 21% who disapprove.
Is there something that maybe Governor Hochul is missing?
Well, I can tell you that I've been encouraged by the conversations that I've been having with Governor Hochul, and she's a committed partner to not only rolling out universal childcare for 2-year-olds, but also to putting the city back on firm financial footing. That is the focus of the work we're doing right now.
Majority of New Yorkers are saying that they want taxes on millionaires. Are you
attack her? Don't be politically correct. Let people know she doesn't want to tax the rich. Stop being politically correct. Just attack her and tell the people that she doesn't want to tax the rich. That she's not willing to do that.
I'm always pleased to know that I'm in agreement with the majority of New Yorkers.
Over the governor's opposition, Democratic state lawmakers.
So they're gonna propose it anyway, and she's upset now. She's really
now
upset.
Considering raising taxes on wealthy New Yorkers.
Mamdani, a Democratic socialist, has called for higher city.
See? So when people say, oh, Democratic socialists, we're fighting for the common person. We're fighting for everyone. We're fighting for your mom, for your grandmother, for your sister, for your brother, for your disabled person, for the person that, can't take care of themselves or is mentally ill or has serious issues or doesn't have any issues, a mom, a dad, all the people that are struggling in our society need to be helped along, right? Because it's not working. How we're doing things is not working. I like this song. So this was the way they went to Albany. A lot of people went to Albany, the capital. Right? A lot of people went to the capital to protest and to let people know we should tax the rich. What's so hard about taxing the rich, people? Let them get those taxes. Let them get taxed.
Lastly,
don't be scared. Yeah, there you go, Bernie. Let them know. Let them know, Bernie.
Demanding that the wealthy and large corporations start paying their fair share of taxes.
That's right, Bernie. Let them know. You don't get a standing ovation in New York unless you have something that people really like, right? The inauguration of Zohran Mamdani in New York City, they were shouting tax the rich over and over and over. But some of the richest people don't care.
New Yorkers have made our position clear. It's time to tax the rich. They say if we raise taxes on millionaires, the rich will flee New York. It sure seems like the rich don't want to be here. In 2021, New York raised income taxes on the highest earners to 10.9%. Over the last decade, the number of millionaires in New York City has increased by 45%. And that one tax increase now brings in $3.6 billion a year. It's not New York's millionaires being forced into red states. It's working families who can't afford housing and childcare. They're pouring out of New York.
And imagine the infrastructure is running good. The trains start running good because they have enough money. The public transportation starts running good because everyone is able to stay in the city. The more people that they are to purchase the goods and services of these rich, the richer they get. So in the end of the day, they should be taxed. They should pay their portion. They should pay their fair share, and that's it, right? Nobody leaves, as they claim.
Leaving their communities behind and handing political power to MAGA states in the process. It's time to stop the fear-mongering and finally have the richest New Yorkers pay their fair share.
Right? It's just fear-mongering. The majority of people don't leave the state. It's just a fear-mongering method that they use, right?
Exactly what thousands of New Yorkers rallied about in Albany this week. In November, New Yorkers sent a new mayor here to
So, right? Tax the rich is that easy. So when people like 50 Cent are saying, oh, I'll pay Mayor Zohran Mamdani to leave, it's because they're just being greedy. Right? They just, in my book, I think they're just greedy, right? I don't think it's anything else other than them being greedy. Right? Right? When people like 50 Cent say, oh, I'll pay his salary if he leaves, that means that they're worried about, they just want more and more money, right? They just want as much money as possible in their pocket. Let's hear one more explanation.
$12 billion. That's how much money New York City is going to have in a budget deficit, according to the new comptroller, Mark Levine. But how did this all start? It's due to years of fiscal mismanagement from Eric Adams. All the while, Kathy Hochul refuses to raise taxes on the wealthy.
I don't believe in raising taxes for the sake of raising taxes.
Even while Trump's cuts devastate New York City and the rest of the country. This isn't sustainable for working families in New York City. But things don't have to be this way. By taxing the rich, we can provide...
Just tax the rich. Is that easy, people? Is that easy? Come on, is that easy? If Mark Ruffalo...
In New York, rent is crushing people. Childcare now costs over $20,000 a year on average.
He's rich.
All Trump's policies keep making billionaires richer, while working families endure cuts to essential services. So last year, over 1 million New Yorkers came together to vote for Mayor Mamdani's affordability agenda. So who's getting in?
They vote for it, right? They voted for it. They voted for Zohran to be in office, and they voted for a change in the way the city's being run. They was tired of the same old politicians that just want to do things the same old way. They don't want to change.
Mamdani, a Democratic socialist, has called for higher city taxes on millionaires and major.
People want the majority. A lot of Democrats consider themselves democratic socialists. That's just a reality, right?
Let me say this.
The old politics.
I don't believe in raising taxes for the sake of raising taxes.
Why not?
Taxes are used to fund your government operations. We have managed
I would love to
our
sit down with you
resources so well in
talk
the state
about
of New York that we can do this ambitious program for childcare. It's going to cost us $4.5 billion.
Yeah, okay, so you're going to pay for it? Where are you going to get the money from? Like, right? You got to raise the taxes so we can expand programs for the poor. You know, we have such poor areas in New York. It's crazy, right? It's bizarre how many poor areas we have in New York, right? How many poor areas we have in New York is bizarre. You go to some places in New York, and some places in New York look like abandoned. Look like they haven't been taken care of. Look um like they're not part of New York. They love to show Manhattan to people, right? They love to show Midtown. They love to show Times Square, but they hate showing the outer boroughs. Right? They hate showing the outer boroughs and showing the conditions of the outer boroughs and how the services are not the same, how the buses don't run as often, how the trains don't run as often, how service ends at a certain time, how the investment in education is not as much, and the investment in the community is not as much. Everything in New York is Manhattan centered. All the resources get focused on Wall Street and nothing else. And there's another way to raise money. There's the stock transfer tax, right? Pennies on every time a stock is transferred to somebody else, the pennies get paid, right? And guess who paused it? Guess who paused it? Guess who paused the tax? It was Governor Kathy Hochul. She paused the tax on this. Let's listen to some more of her speech, right?
This year. I can do that. I can expand my infrastructure vision. I can do so much. So to the extent that we're doing what I need to do with the current resources, I can't justify it. Let me say this. I don't believe in raising taxes for the sake of raising taxes. Taxes.
She just doesn't want to raise taxes because she doesn't want to raise taxes on the rich. But I don't hear her talk about helping the working people, helping the poor. Come on, sister. I saw your numbers. I saw your numbers. I saw how much money you make, how much you and your husband, how rich you are. Of course, you don't believe in taxing the rich. Of course, you wouldn't want to tax your friends and family. And then there comes another guy.
Tax the rich. Why? Because that's what the Democratic Socialists live by. It doesn't even make sense economically. Tax the rich. We are losing rich people in New York City, New York State. They are moving. You increase taxes on the rich, you will accelerate the reasons for them to leave the state.
But you're just saying that, but you don't have any evidence or proof. We just showed you all the proof that the rich are not leaving. Taxes were raised on the rich during COVID, during the worst economic time where the economy was on the verge of collapse. They didn't leave. They're still here. So stop playing that game because you want to protect your rich friends. This is a guy that pays $8,000 a month in rent in Midtown Manhattan. I don't know if he went back to Westchester, Westchester, now that he's not running for mayor anymore. He moved all the way from Westchester to New York City just to run for mayor. And he wants to talk about he cares about the common person. That's why he didn't win. His mentality is off. It's totally off. This was on his radio show, Andrew Cuomo, former governor, the father of Tier 6, which he stripped the pensions for city workers and state workers, and he gave really bad contracts to the unions. Talk about the state doesn't have money. The state doesn't have money. And he stripped the city of a lot of money because he claimed that the state didn't have enough money to fund these services. So he was the start of gutting of a lot of the city services, right? And then he wanted to run for mayor. I'm glad people didn't fall for that trap.
For lower tax jurisdictions. That is a fact. I understand the political appeal to the socialists, tax the rich, because the rich are evil, the rich are bad. Millionaires, we hate millionaires.
You're rich. Of course you're going to defend the rich. You like eating in your little, restaurant with the white cloth and you know, and with the expensive decor. You love it, you enjoy it. So of course you're gonna be upset when people want to tax people like you. Of course, that's gonna bother you.
You know what? This society, every kid grows up, you want to be a millionaire. You want to succeed. No, we're going to punish those millionaires. We're going to make them pay.
But the kids don't
The way
know.
the taxes.
The kids don't know what you got to do to become a millionaire. What you got to do to become a billionaire. All the things that are not nice that you have to do, or all the social life you have to deal with, and the people you have to deal with, and how much you have to be quiet about a lot of the stuff that happens in our society because you don't want to offend anyone. So Cuomo, come on, brother.
Work in this state. The top 1% of payers pay 50% of the taxes. So keep pushing that top 1% to leave the state. And this state.
So let me ask you, why haven't you left? Why haven't you left, Cuomo? You're still in New York. You haven't left, no matter how much they tax you. I don't think you will fit in Florida. Maybe in Mar-a-Lago, they'll like you there. But because Trump endorsed you, right? Trump endorsed you, and you have this philosophy that the rich should be left alone, and that let the regular person scrounge for food, let the regular person struggle and not be able to put a food on the table. Come on, Cuomo. We don't believe you.
State is going to have real financial problems. Tax the rich. Why? Because that's what the Democratic Socialists live by. It doesn't even make sense economically.
Why?
Tax the rich. We are losing rich people in New York City, New York State. They are moving.
Based on no facts, no statistics, no type of evidence, he claims that we want to tax the rich. We don't want to tax the rich. He claims all of this, and how can we claim this, right? How can he claim this? Let's listen to him one more time. He's gonna get. Let me put him on the big screen. I know he's gonna get upset about it.
Increase taxes on the rich, you will accelerate the reasons for them to leave the state for lower tax jurisdictions. That is a fact. I understand the political appeal to the socialists, tax the rich, because the rich are evil, the rich are bad. Millionaires, we hate millionaires.
Come on,
you know
brother.
what? This society, every kid grows up, you want to be a millionaire. You want to succeed.
But
no, we're going to punish those millionaires. We're
going
to make them pay.
You're worried about you being
the
punished,
way the taxes work in this state. The top 1% of payers pay 50% of the taxes.
Do they?
So keep pushing that top 1% to leave this state. And this state is going to have real financial problems. Tax the rich. Why? Because that's what the Democratic Socialists live by. It doesn't even make sense economically. Tax the rich. We are losing rich people in New York City, New York State. They are moving. You increase taxes on the rich, you will accelerate the reasons for them to leave the state for lower tax jurisdictions. That is a fact. I understand the political appeal to the socialists, tax the rich, because the rich are evil, the rich are bad.
He's really angry. I never seen him have that much fire. Even when he was running for office, he didn't have that much fire, right? He didn't have that much fire. He didn't have that much energy when he was running for office. Never. I never saw him speaking the way he's speaking right now. Never saw him speaking this way. Never saw him have that energy towards when he was campaigning. Never saw him have that energy level, right? Now you talk about the rich, and he's off. He's upset. I never seen Cuomo so upset. But when you talk about his buddies and his friends at the upper echelons, all of a sudden he has that fire. I never saw him in his campaign ever talk like this or be so vocal or be so energized, right? Never saw him be so energized. And now all of a sudden he has this energy level that I've never seen in him before, right? He has so much energy for this, right? Let's listen to video after video of the rich just gotta be taxed. Everyone, subscribe to the channel, hit the like button, share it to other people, send it to your friends, your family. Let's talk about this. Right? Let's talk about it.
Kathy, your time has come. Democratic governor of New York, Kathy Hochul, was talking in front of a crowd of Puerto Ricans and New Yorkers. She was greeted with chants of tax the rich, and she responded, "Hear you, but
So this was in Somos, which is considered a behind the scenes maneuvering. Is a conference that's held yearly in Puerto Rico with the Black and Hispanic Caucus, which is state legislators and also politicians throughout New York State that meet in Puerto Rico, and they hash out a lot of the what they're gonna do for the year. And so it kicks off the budget, the New York State budget, right? It kicks it off for people. So let's listen a little bit more. Sorry for interrupting. I just had to explain that to the people that are not in New York and not attuned to New York politics.
I'm the type of person, the more you push me, the more I'm not going to do what you want. Okay? So a little lesson to all of our friends out there. But
She then doubled down in a press conference that she did after that.
I don't change my position. So I just want to put it out there.
Then she went on CNN and said this.
His agenda is incredibly ambitious. It is, as he has described it, a democratic socialist agenda. Free childcare, free buses, rent freeze, the list goes on. Now, Governor, you have said repeatedly that you would not raise taxes. You said, quote, "I've said there's no new income taxes." Do you stand by that promise?
Yes.
Up until now, Kathy Hochul is up for re-election in 2026, and she was uncontested. All of a sudden, MAGA Republican Representative Elise Stefanik is a piece of shit as well, who tried to get the election overturned and promoted election lies for Donald Trump. She comes out, she launches her run for New York governor against Kathy Hochul, and all of a sudden, here comes Kathy Hochul. It's a new day in New York. I'm so proud that this individual, Zohran Mamdani, is going to work with me shoulder to shoulder to deliver for New York City the way it's never seen in its lifetime. Let me get this straight.
So, I mean, she dropped out. Stefanik dropped out. She was too close to Trump. And in New York, saying you've been endorsed by Trump is like toxic, right? Andrew Cuomo was endorsed by Trump, and that cost him probably him to lose favorability, right? New York City, Trump is not very popular. I mean, you have pockets of Trump supporters even here, and Latinos that support Trump. They still support Trump no matter what, and all the craziness that's happening. Right? And so there's 47.38% of in New York are Democrats, 2.817 are Republicans. Third party, 564,000. Unaffiliated, 3.1 million people are unaffiliated, right? That means that they're independent. That means that they're unaffiliated, that they don't have any type of connection to any political party. So technically, if Republicans and independents and third party, which is the Working Families Party, that don't like Kathy Hochul, if they were all to come together, they could defeat her, right? And there is a Republican candidate that's running, right? There is a Republican candidate that's running. And that person is.
So I think folks should be angry about what was proposed. I always want to make sure.
But Bruce Blakeman, does he have a chance to take down Kathy Hochul? Depends on what his angle will be, right? I haven't seen too much of him. But this is Jumaane Williams, the public advocate. He was one of the first people to come out and speak out against Kathy Hochul not wanting to tax the rich. Right?
People are angry at the right people. And I believe folks should be angry at Kathy Hochul, who has said that she won't even entertain taxing the wealthy. And when she talks about it, she speaks as if taxing the wealthy means taxing everybody. And it just doesn't. So the choice is, are we going to raise revenue from the 33,000 wealthiest folks in New York, or are we going to raise the revenue or cut services from everybody else? And that's really what we're boiling down.
So who are we going to attack? Are we going to cut services from the regular people? Or are we going to be able to tax the rich to make the difference in federal tax cuts and federal cuts to programs and to be able to pay for these gaps in funding? Or, who are we with? And he's saying it's Kathy Hochul that should just work with everyone, right? And so this is the right
from
angle.
New York and New Jersey.
So this is CNN. Are you surprised? Kevin O'Leary, chairman of O'Leary Ventures, is saying that Zohran is insane and his ideas are insane, and him wanting to tax the rich is completely insane. Let's listen to what he has to say. I disagree.
Massachusetts is moving into my neighborhood. I'm pissed off. And this guy's just doing more of it.
Zohran Mamdani is issuing an ultimatum in an effort to close the city's massive budget gap. He's calling on New York Governor Kathy Hochul to raise taxes on the city's wealthiest people, or he'll have to increase property taxes by nearly 10%.
The options of the second path are the options of last resort. Options that we will only.
So, they're upset, right? Most regular New Yorkers are happy with taxing the richest people in our neighborhood, or in not even in our neighborhood, but in Midtown and where the concentrations of wealth are located, right? Because New York has some places that the wealth is concentrated. You could tell when you're moving around New York, you could tell what places are very well taken care of, and you could tell the places that are not very well taken care of. It's obvious, and most tourists don't see
if
that.
There's no other means of arriving at a balanced budget.
So I guess he's asking, what's a 2% tax increase on a multimillionaire?
It's not much.
If you're already the highest tax jurisdiction in America, it's a massive tax. You know what I love about this guy, and I'm giving him credit, he goes big.
So, it's also the place where you generate the most money, where all the businesses are, and where the profits are really high, right? The profits are higher than most other places. This is where the business people want to be. This is where you have the most talent, the most ability. So let's listen to it. A little bit more. I don't know how long I can listen to these point of views. Kind of nauseating, right? For a regular person that can't even afford a cup of coffee.
Big, and he's got a fantastic social media team. This is great. This is bat poo-poo crazy, what he is proposing. And probably sometime next year, within 12 to 18 months, I will meet him in Miami and give.
That is bat poo-poo crazy? Is that like your official statement? Bat poo-poo crazy. You know what I mean? That's his official language. He's bat poo-poo crazy. That's his official language to talk about what Zohran is doing.
Give him real estate Agent of the Year award because I'm not happy with what's happening. I can't get across the bridge anymore. I live in Miami Beach. Everybody from New York and New Jersey and Massachusetts is moving into my neighborhood. I'm pissed off. And this guy's just doing more of it. What he's proposing is beyond insane.
Well, the poor people are moving. The middle class people, the people that can't afford the city anymore are moving because, and a lot of people are retiring. These are a lot of baby boomers too that are retiring. They're getting a pension. They can't afford the city. So they're moving to places like Florida because they can no longer afford it. And most people miss New York. They don't really want to be in Florida, in Texas, in all these places. But it's just cheaper to live in those places. Right?
Insane, but I love it.
You are
now,
very
I'm like
dramatic
everybody
yourself.
else. Listen, you guys live here. You're not paying your fair share.
I don't live here.
You've got to pay 110%. That's the right thing to do. Because
right.
he's not cutting spending.
No, but
He's just going to tax you.
110%. Come on, brother. You're hyperventilating because you're going to pay a little bit more taxes. Like 2%. 2% of pennies, right? You're hyperventilating. 2%.
Everybody from New York and New Jersey and Massachusetts is moving into my neighborhood. I'm pissed off. And this guy's just doing more of it.
Zohran Mamdani is issuing an ultimatum in an effort.
Crazy. I could say bat shit crazy. I don't like to curse, but just crazy. Like they're just hyperventilating because they got to pay a little bit more. Hyperventilating.
You're not ready for how bad this is.
I'm going to give the billionaires some advice.
Oh, wow.
Because the wealth gap's the widest it's been since the roaring 20s. So if you're a billionaire in California, before the peasants start storming the castle, how about this? How about you buy everybody there a $1 value meal at McDonald's? Or make the homeless people in Skid Row fight like gladiators.
I don't know if we hate Fox News enough because they certainly hate you.
So they're called stupid people because they vote for him and don't like his policies. Or are they hypocrites?
I don't understand what he's talking about.
Stupid hypocrite.
There are two issues here. Eric Adams left Zohran Mamdani with a budget deficit. He has to fill that. The governor of New York could raise taxes on the wealthy. If she says no, Mamdani's last...
Yeah, so they're having a meltdown in Fox News over Zohran's proposal. Right?
resort is to raise property taxes.
The only option is to raise taxes on your property owners? That's crazy to me.
It's crazy to you because it's not true. But you don't want to tax the wealthy. So what do you want? And this is Rich. The Speaker of the New York City Council says she won't support a property tax increase and that retirees' health benefits should be cut instead. Maybe she doesn't want to raise...
Yeah. Of course not. Look at her house. You see her house? You see her house, right? You saw her house, right? So why would they, right? Why would they do anything? Look at her house. Look where she lives. She lives in an $8 million house. She's rich. She doesn't want to be taxed.
Property taxes because she lives in a $7.5 million home. Greed is a sickness. And one of the loudest opponents of California's proposed billionaire tax is Mark Zuckerberg.
Mark Zuckerberg is the wealthiest man in California and the fourth wealthiest person.
Uh-oh. This is amazing.
In the world worth $226 billion. And for Mr. Zuckerberg, is apparently not good enough to own one yacht. He had to buy 3 yachts worth $530 million. He had to buy 11 homes in Palo Alto to make a family compound. Mr. Zuckerberg, you can afford to pay your fair share of taxes.
The right-wing media is going to continue.
The right-wing media is having a meltdown about Zohran Mamdani's wanting to tax the rich. They're rich, but let them be taxed. What's the big deal, right? I love playing this video. stadium full of people demanding that the rich be taxed, right? Nothing more classic than that, right? Right? Nothing more classic than that. Let's
He really
listen to
tried it
this
with this one, so
commentary.
listen to this and then we'll discuss.
To continually attack high-income earners. 51% of our taxes are paid by 2% of New Yorkers. It's blown my mind when I hear people say, so what if they leave? No, you leave.
Conventional wisdom says that we can't raise taxes on the rich because then they'll just flee en masse to lower tax states. Unfortunately, data and migration patterns do not corroborate this mass tax flight myth.
Yeah, so the Center on Budget and Policy Priorities says that most academic studies find the state and local taxes are not a major factor in interstate migration decisions. So the business people don't make decisions based on that, right? Business people.
He really tried it with this one, so listen to the
They don't make decisions based on these factors. They make decisions on other factors. So listen to the former mayor, the way he
this and then we'll
talked.
discuss.
He was in Donald Trump's pocket.
51% of our taxes are paid by 2% of New Yorkers. It's blown my mind when I hear people say, so what if they leave? No, you leave.
Conventional wisdom says that we can't raise taxes on the rich because then they'll just flee en masse to lower tax states. Unfortunately, data and migration patterns do not corroborate this mass tax flight myth. Rigorous analyses and studies have found that taxes actually do not have a significant impact on interstate moves. One particularly exhaustive study, which looked at tax return data from 3.7 million millionaires over a period of 12 years, found that only 2.4% of millionaires move in any given year. And of that tiny, tiny percentage, only about 15% move to states where there is a tax advantage. Super rich are not quite as ready and willing to just pick up and leave as the business lobby would have us believe. And there are demographic reasons for this. They tend to be older, they tend to be more tied to their specific locations because of work, because of family. And not for nothing, there are also social and cultural reasons for why they won't leave. Like saying your kid goes to a random private school in Texas doesn't hit the same as saying that your kid goes to Spencer Dalton. So this narrative of the mass exodus of the wealthy in pursuit of lower taxes doesn't mirror reality.
The poor are leaving, but the rich, they don't really leave. That's the thing that you have to dispel, right? It has to dispel
The
it.
city is in a difficult position. We are also seeing a moment where the gross fiscal mismanagement has left New Yorkers with a bill the likes of which we have not seen in many, many years.
The same guy.
We have seen.
That's the same guy as Mayor Eric Adams that was speaking about people are going to leave and we touch the rich and we should leave them alone. And he made everything comfortable as possible for the rich because he himself always wanted to be rich, right? So he wants to make sure that he secures his exit strategy, right?
In the politics of the past, that in moments such as these, we ask those with the least to bear the greatest burden.
What's so bad about
we know
that?
Here in the wealthiest city, in the wealthiest country in the history of the world, that we can not only put our city back on firmer financial footing, but also build a stronger city for everyone. If the top 1%.
Whatever happened to people being able to believe that as a society, we should take care of the people that are less privileged, right? The elderly, right? The whole system of Social Security is based on that. Society will take care, they pay into it, and then they get it taken care of. They shouldn't have to be going to food pantries and to shelters to be able to have a roof over their head. They should have enough. They should be able to make enough money to be able to afford the city, right? And that's what people don't get. Big difference in point of view.
New Yorkers pay an additional 2% in income taxes.
The newsflash may be to you if you haven't heard me. We're not raising taxes in the state of New York. I'm not raising taxes for the sake of raising taxes. So he'll continue to say what he needs to say. I'll continue to say what I want to say.
You need to revise any of the campaign promises that you made, which you estimated would cost some $10 billion, and that's before we even take into account the $12 billion out of balance.
We will not allow the failures of the prior administration to dull the ambitions of our own.
So if that's the case, how will the new mayor close the gap?
So, I mean, it's just crazy that they just stack up. And I was surprised to see this video of Scaramucci that says he's good with taxing the rich, right? He's good with taxing the rich. He's good with paying more taxes if the system runs better and he's safer because he doesn't have to worry about the poor coming after him or the working people coming after him, right? Listen to what he
I
has
live
to
here in
say.
New York. I pay 52% marginal tax. I'm a minority partner in my own life now. So the dollar comes in, 52 cents goes to Eric Adams, Kathy Hochul, and Joe Biden. I get to keep 48 cents for my family. I am totally fine with that. If they want to end the carried interest loophole, if that's going to benefit the society, I'm totally fine with that. Okay, we have a huge disparity in the society right now. And I don't want to be a rich guy living in a barbed wired security McMansion while my fellow neighbors are suffering. So me personally, I have never complained about my taxes, don't mind paying them. I would love to audit the city or the state and see where the taxes have gone because it doesn't make sense that we have the budgets that we have and we have the services. I live here in New York. I pay 52% marginal tax. I'm a minority partner in my own life now. So the dollar comes in, 52 cents goes.
So is he being sarcastic or is he okay with being taxed? It sounds like he's okay with being taxed, right? It seems to me that he's okay with being taxed. You like his Scaramucci? You like Scaramucci? He's popular, right? A lot of people like him, right? He's rich. So I mean, he's real rich. Mooch is still bipartisan, which is a problem. I mean, are there any bipartisan people left? The only ones that I see are bipartisan are Democrats. They're the only ones still trying to work with in a bipartisan fashion, and it's failing horribly, right? They're failing at it horribly. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, like. He's a funny, smooth-talking greaseball, but he's pretty damn ignorant. Well, you've seen the videos of him. You see how long he lasted as the press secretary for Trump. How long he lasted? Like a week? Yeah. He lasted a week before he got Trump upset at him, right? This is
tax the rich.
Yes, sir. Tax them all.
Tax them all.
Tax them all.
You know the rich pay a lot of taxes, though, sir.
Pay taxes.
They pay a lot of taxes. They pay a lot of taxes.
They're hallucinating.
They pay a lot of taxes.
They're hallucinating.
They pay a lot of taxes.
Hold on now. Let's see how many hands go up. Turn around. Let's see how many hands go up. Excuse me, everybody in this area.
No one cares. No one cares. Tax the rich.
Yes, sir. Tax them all.
Tax them.
See? A lot of people are saying tax the rich. And the governor, this is what she says.
It's bullshit. I've never been a hand wringer on the sidelines. I'm a street fighter from Buffalo.
Governor Hochul, you stated that you're a proud registered Democrat.
Yes, I did. Is that illegal now, too, in your country? What the hell is happening to this country? President Donald Trump tweeted, "Long live the king." I'm here to say New York hasn't labored under a king in over 250 years.
He's trying to be tough. Does Trump take it seriously?
Not going to start now. This is how they're going to play the game. We're going to fight fire with fire. I mean, you're putting a federal problem on our laps. And you know what? It gets old after a while. I wish you would just do your job. If we don't fight for our democracy, we're doomed to lose it. That's how high the stakes are right now. But when you challenge the values and our rights and the people of our state, I'm going to have to fight and stand up. That day has arrived.
In what way is she fighting? I don't know. Have you guys seen her fighting? I haven't seen her fighting, right? Establishment Democrats are all about bipartisanship, and that's why their polls are in the basement. Yeah, They should be like ramming things through, being like, yo, unapologetic, just boom, take it this way, and that's it, right? Democrats should be like ready to just do what they have to do, and that's it, right? Not back down, stick to their morals, stick to their values. And when you don't have any values
on the city tax, though,
you stand up for, right? You can't just not stand up for your values, right? And once you start negotiating away your rights, once you start negotiating away what you believe in, then what do you believe in? How are you going to convince voters that you believe in what they believe in if you're willing to meet everyone in the middle and give away everything you believe in to help other people that are not even your supporters? So now that frustrates people, and the donor class is benefiting from all of this, right? The donor class is dictating the whole narrative. And that's what went wrong with Kamala Harris, that Kamala Harris ran a left platform. All her videos of 2016, all her old videos show her with a left-leaning platform. It shows her standing up for left-leaning values. But they told her when she was running that she wasn't allowed to speak about money or speak about the economy being bad or speak about helping the workers and the poor. She was told by the donor class that she shouldn't run a Bernie Sanders type of platform, right? And we don't want to talk about Bernie Sanders, how they screwed Bernie Sanders, right? Out of his ability to run for president. Maybe we would have never had Trump if Bernie Sanders would have won in 2016. Maybe Trump would have never happened, right? Maybe he would have quit and he would have never ran for president. But this is what we get because we compromise on our values way too much, right? And I'm an independent, but
and I know that takes effect with people right now, that top rate of people of 50,000 or more. So if you're going to be adding 2% to people at $1 million, that I just did the math, right? Well, but that's going to be an increase of 51% of what they pay now. I'm not saying cry for them. I'm saying if they leave, you're not going to get that money. And when you increase someone's taxes by 51%, aren't a lot of people?
There goes that whole they're going to leave argument. Like he's looking at her like, I knew you were going to say that. I knew you were going to say that because your boss called you on the phone and said, I need you to scorch him. We need you to stand up for the rich and the donors and the investors and the stockholders.
People going to leave?
We're saying we're increasing it by 2% of what it is right now.
Which is not much.
Ultimately, I'm guided by the facts. The Fiscal Policy Institute did an analysis of the top 1% of New Yorkers and found that they leave the city at 1/4 the rate of other income categories. And when they do leave, they leave to what are called high tax states, New Jersey, California. So what it then comes down to is, why are they leaving? Is it fiscal policy or is it actually quality of life? And I've heard that time and again from wealthier New Yorkers, from all New Yorkers.
So it's talk. They're going to go to Florida and all you think is talk.
In 2021, when I came to...
It's all talk. They don't move. They love being around other rich people. There's not enough rich people in these other states for them to live in these places. They don't want to be all isolated, living with alligators and living. The only social scene is Mar-a-Lago. That's the only place you could go if you want to have a rich people's scene. Where else can you go, right? Where else can you go?
The state assembly, we had the same fight to fund public schools, to raise taxes on billionaires and corporations. We were told millionaires would flee.
Yep.
And we now have more millionaires.
Okay, so the New York Times is saying that Mayor Adams is trying to gather business leaders to support him, to say this is going to be bad. And Bill Ackman, billionaire hedge fund manager, of course, you know of him, New Yorker, he said he agrees with you that the city's broken. Okay, but he has a real problem with your economic policies. He said.
And see, they're vouching for the donor class. People that donated to both Democrats and Republicans, right? These are people that donated to both. They just pick up the phone And they're one phone call away from speaking to these executives at the news agencies, speaking to all these figures, and of course, they call them the Epstein class, right? I'm not supposed to say that name because I heard that they're blocking a lot of people. Whoever mentioned that name, the powers to be don't want it to be talked about. They want it to go away. They want it to be erased from the record. So I can't even say that name because they're really not allowing that name to be said too much, right? So, but these are the people that run
The
both the
ability for New York
Republican
City
and
to offer
Democratic
services
Party.
for the poor and needy, let alone the average New Yorker, is entirely dependent on New York City being a business-friendly environment and a place where wealthy residents are willing to spend 183 days, the amount you need to be taxed, and assume the associated tax burden. Unfortunately, both have already started making arrangements for the exits. So you just think that that isn't going to add up?
That's the big scare, right? We're going to leave. We're going to pack our bags and we're going to leave. That didn't work with our parents when we said we're going to pack our bags and we're going to leave, right? Did that work with your parents? Did that work? That you're going to pack your bags? Because they knew in the end of the day, you didn't have money to move out, or you didn't have money to go anywhere. So they know it's just a con, right? A poker face. They like being around each other. They like being around each other. The rich enjoy each other's company.
By the way, that corporate
They
tax
love the
rate that
social
you're talking
life.
about, that's a big increase.
That's matching 7.25% going to 11.5%. And the point of it is that if it works for our regional neighbor, why can't it work for us? And with Bill Ackman, this is someone who put $500,000 into Andrew Cuomo's super PAC, someone to whom clearly money is not an issue. And ultimately, even for him, life would get better. Because what I'm looking to use this money for is to make the quality of life across the city better.
So is life going to get better for him and for everyone else by taxing them? Let's try it out. We haven't tried it. We did try it in the 1960s, and there was a bigger middle class, despite all the discrimination and all the...
Okay, he's not alone. There are a lot like him, whether it's Ken Griffin or CEOs of big banks. Would you meet with them?
I'll meet with anyone. I will meet with them and I'll explain why I believe in the necessity of raising the top corporate tax rate. And I'd also tell Bill Ackman that I firmly disagree with his attempt to dismantle diversity, equity, and inclusion across the country, because it's not only against the morals of so many, it's also against the actual bottom line for so many businesses.
So he threw out the diversity, equity, inclusion, right? I don't know if, a lot of people are really against that. The right, especially right wingers, they hate the diversity, equity, inclusion, which is saying, hey, let's help out the people that are marginalized. Let's help the minorities that are not born in a certain circle, that are not born with certain friends, that are not allowed to, prosper as much as other people.
And as a businessman, he should understand that.
On the city tax, though, and I know that takes effect with people right now, that top rate of people of 50,000 or more. So if you're going to be adding 2% to people at $1 million, that I just did the math, right? Well, that's going to be an increase of 51% of what they pay now. I'm not saying cry for them. I'm saying if they leave, you're not going to get that money. And when you increase someone's taxes by 51%, aren't a lot of people going to leave?
We're saying we're increasing it by 2% of what it is right now. And
her numbers are totally wrong, totally different than what Zohran's numbers are, right? Zohran and her have totally different numbers about taxing the rich. Everyone, double click on the screen, like the video, share the video, share the broadcast.
We did tax the rich. We taxed them hard, actually, up to 94%. And no, it didn't kill the economy. It literally saved it. So why doesn't anyone talk about that? Because billionaires don't want you to know that it actually worked. Every time you talk about taxing the rich, there's always the people that say the same things. That's not fair. They'll just leave. They earned it. This won't fix anything. It'll just hurt jobs. But the truth is, we've already tested this. We taxed the rich hard, and it built the most prosperous era in U.S. history. Here's exactly what happened. In the 1940s, President Franklin D. Roosevelt raised the top federal income tax to 94%. Yes, I know that number sounds crazy, so let me explain. That didn't mean that people were losing 94% of the income that they had earned. That's called a marginal tax rate, and it only applied to income above a certain threshold. In 1940,
Exactly. The income tax was high. We didn't believe that people should be richer than the government, richer than the average person. We didn't believe that people should enrich themselves to the max, right? We just didn't believe in that as a society. Comment below so I can show you your comments. Come on, people, don't be shy. Let's go. Talk. Come on, chatters. Don't give up. Let me go on TikTok, right? I spend a lot of time on TikTok doing lives, and I had about 6,000 followers, almost 6,000 followers on TikTok. But I'm trying to build up the other platforms on YouTube and on Facebook and all these other areas, right? Trying to build up the platform to talk about a lot of the issues that are happening across the country. Because we need to talk about all this stuff, right? We need to talk about the history that people don't want to hear. People don't want to hear about the history of our society. People don't want to hear about what's happening, right?
the
How
94%
we used to
tax
tax
rate
the rich.
only applied to income above the $200,000 income threshold. So essentially like making, I don't know, $3.5 million today. So that means that you would pay the normal rate on the first couple million, and only the income above that would be taxed at this 94%. And I feel like that's the part that nobody ever really explains. And the billionaires count on that confusion to protect themselves. So what did this money pay for? It paid for the New Deal, including Social Security. It paid for massive public jobs programs during the Great Depression. It paid for all of World War II. It paid for the GI Bill, which sent 8 million veterans to college. It paid for the interstate highway
It built
system.
the infrastructure
it paid for
that
the
we have
original
now.
versions of Medicare and Medicaid. It paid for public universities, hospitals, housing, and scientific research. And one income households could actually afford a house, a car, and a vacation. And all of that happened when the richest of Americans were paying between 82 and 94% on their highest income. And guess what?
It benefited them anyway, because now they have people are spending more, the money's circulating more, and therefore they also are making more money, and they're still paying their fair share because the roads are being built, the infrastructure is being taken care of. Therefore, their businesses could flow better, and there's less delays in their deliveries, in their trucking services, in their train service, in their freight service, in their all types of air traffic. So they actually make more money in the efficiencies, right? Or you
The
agree?
economy fucking boomed. And then came the 1980s. Reagan slashed the top tax rate from 70% down to 20%. And what happened? Wages stopped growing, middle class started shrinking, the CEO pay exploded, billionaires hoarded record wealth, and income inequality has skyrocketed ever since. So no, this is not some coincidence. The second we stopped taxing the rich, everything started falling apart for the working people. So let's shut down the excuses one by one. But that's not fair. You know what's not fair? Is billionaires using things like public roads, public schools, courts, police, and workers, and then hiding their wealth in offshore accounts and shell companies, to avoid paying taxes. They didn't get rich alone. They used a system that the rest of us paid for to get to where they were. But they'll leave the country. Nope, try again. The US taxes worldwide income. So even if they do move, they will still owe money. And when France passed a wealth tax, fewer than 1% of rich people actually left. Because be so fucking for real right now. Do you really think that these billionaires are going to be giving up their Manhattan condos and their media empires over a 2% wealth?
They're not giving up all that luxury and all that comfort and all the events and the food and the ability to hang out with their fellow rich people, because rich people hang out with rich people, right? They hang out with certain families. They ask about what family are you from, right? They ask what family you're from before they allow you to be participating in their circle. They call it the Epstein class. Oh, I was just supposed to say that name. No one, don't say that name, right? Right? That's I should let her finish, right? What she said? She's not frustrated, right? Wow, it's just crazy and bizarre to me that that our society has stooped to that level. We're willing to attack the working people. We're willing to attack the poor, but we don't care about the rich, right? We let them be, but we don't let regular people be. That's not cool, right? Right? Not cool at all. Let's see. Okay. So let's transition a little bit to let's get to somebody else. Let's transition to someone else and to a little different topic. Let's just transition over to a slightly different topic, right? A lot of Trump is getting a lot of people pissed off, right? Trump is getting a lot of people pissed off, right? Trump is getting a lot of people pissed off because a lot of people are saying that he's not doing a lot of good things, right? With the Iran, he's getting people upset, right? He's getting a lot of people pissed off, right? He's just getting a lot of people pissed off. The things that he's saying, right? Right? He just getting people pissed off with Iran, right? The things that he's saying. The things that he's saying is just getting people really upset, right? I don't know why. He's just getting people upset.
Meeting in New York City today. No one else available to go? What are her qualifications again? Because I forget. We are a global fucking joke. I wonder who thought it was a good idea to send Melania Trump to represent.
So let's keep going. Let's keep talking about it. Let's keep talking about it. So much going on. It's bizarre, but it's true. The world is on fire, and we're witnesses to this fire, right?
So Donald Trump just got done attending the dignified transfer, and reporters start asking him questions about this conflict, this war with Iran. And trust me, he clearly has no idea what he's doing. So when a reporter asked him if he's going to do more of these dignified transfers, he says pretty much because it's a part of war.
For more of these such dignified transfers.
Sure, I hate to do it, but it's a part of war, isn't it? Who are you with?
The Washington Post.
What do you think, people?
When you say it's a part of war?
The deaths are part of war, yeah.
It's part of war. It's a sad part of war. It's the bad part of war.
Mr. President.
And then a reporter asked him, "Are you worried about the gas prices?" And he says, nope.
Then a reporter asked him,
So,
"Are you worried about the gas prices?"
Is that
He
crazy?
says, nope.
Is that crazy for him to say that? Is that crazy? Is that crazy for him to say that? Is that crazy for him to say that? Is that crazy? Is that crazy for him to say that? Is that people are upset with him for speaking like this about what's happening in the
Because
whole
we're on a
area,
short
right?
excursion.
Right now, are you worried about gas prices right now?
No, this is a short excursion into something that
Watch
should
this
have been done
creator.
for
He does a
47
lot of
years.
the video.
47
Watch
years it's taken to do this, and no president had the guts to do it.
And then he's asked about the United States bombing that school full of little girls that we all know the United States did. And he says, nope. According to his opinion and what he has seen, the United States hasn't done that.
Did the United States bomb a girls' elementary school in southern Iran on the first day of the war and kill 175
In
people?
my opinion, based on what I've seen, that was done by Iran.
Is that true, Mr. Hickson? It was Iran who did that?
We're certainly investigating.
Still
But the only side that targets civilians is Iran.
We think it was done. We think it was done by Iran.
Sorry.
Because they're very inaccurate, as you know, with their munitions. They have no accuracy whatsoever. It was done by Iran.
Can you give us an idea?
Now, this part gets very interesting. They asked him what unconditional surrender looks like, and he says, when they cry uncle.
Can you give us an idea of what unconditional surrender looks like to you? I mean, what do you want from Iran?
I said unconditional, not conditional. I said unconditional. It's where they cry uncle, or when they can't fight any longer and there's nobody around to cry uncle.
Yeah.
That could happen too, because we've wiped out their leadership numerous times already. So it's if they surrender, or if there is nobody around to surrender, but they're rendered useless in terms of military.
This is
now
what got a lot of people upset.
He actually says Iran did apologize, and in a way,
this is bizarre. These comments are bizarre. I don't know how people still support him and still feel like it's okay. This is the veteran that they broke his hand when he was protesting in Congress.
Took an oath to defend this country from enemies, foreign and domestic, and we're facing domestic enemies right now. Our leaders are in cahoots with Israel, and they're leading America into unprovoked wars, and that's not right. And we got to stand up against it. The American citizens have to say no to our government's choices, and we don't want war. So that's why we're speaking up. And free Palestine, and Palestine is our strength. The Palestinians are suffering far worse than any of this. So it gives us unending strength. So here we are. Thank you guys so much. Thank you so much. Yeah, man. Hey, we took an oath to defend this country from enemies, foreign and domestic. So we're facing domestic enemies right now. Our leaders are in cahoots with Israel, and they're leading America into unprovoked wars, and that's not right. And we got to stand up against it. The American citizens have to say no to our government's choices, and we don't want war. So that's why we're speaking up. And free Palestine, and Palestine is our strength. The Palestinians are suffering far worse than any of this. So it gives us unending strength. So here we are.
As a Marine veteran spoke out, and his hand was broken by the senator, right, in Congress. His hand was broken, and so he's not upset. Let me play this one more time.
So Donald Trump just got done attending the dignified transfer, and reporters start asking him questions about this conflict, this war with Iran, and trust me, he clearly has no idea what he's doing. So when a reporter asked him if he's going to do more of these dignified transfers, he says pretty much because it's a part of war.
for more of these such dignified transfers?
Sure, I hate to do it, but it's a part of war, isn't it? Who are you with?
The Washington Post.
When you say it's part of war?
The deaths are part of war, yeah.
Yeah, it's part of war. It's a sad part of war. It's the bad part of war.
Mr. President.
And then a reporter asked him, "Are you worried about the gas prices?" And he says, "Nope, because we're on a short excursion."
Right now, are you worried about gas prices right now?
No, this is a short excursion into something that should have been done for 47 years. 47 years it's taken to do this, and no president had the guts to do it.
And then he's asked about the United States.
And you know what? This is the same talking points I keep hearing from MAGA people in my social media. These are the comments they keep putting up on my social media. Come on. Really? Stop just repeating. Stop being a parrot to whatever you're told. Stop repeating whatever you hear and keep repeating it over and over, the same exact thing. Have your own mind, your own brain to reach your conclusions about what you're hearing and what you're seeing. And maybe you're not being told exactly the way it's happening. Maybe there's more to the story. Investigate, listen. Listen more than what you speak. But they're just ready to refute it.
States bombing that school full of little girls that we all know the United States did. And he says, nope. According to his opinion and what he has seen, the United States hasn't done that.
Did the United States bomb a girls' elementary school in southern Iran on the first day of the war and kill 175 people?
In my opinion, based on what I've seen, that was done by Iran.
Is that true, Mr. Hegseth? It was Iran who did that?
We're certainly investigating.
Still
But
investigating.
the only side that targets civilians is Iran.
We think it was done by Iran.
Can you give us an idea?
He really had to think about that. Is Mr. Hexa, is that right? He's like, oh man, why you put me in this? And he's like, we're gonna investigate. In other words, I'm not gonna lie publicly. I want it to be investigated. Remember, Hegseth doesn't have immunity. Only the president has immunity, right? Right? For official actions, right? So Hegseth wasn't interested in answering that question the way Trump wanted him to answer the question, but he did, but saying that they're going to keep investigating it, right? And so Lindsey Graham goes ballistic, and he says, we're going to go after Cuba next. We're going to go after anyone that says anything bad about the United States. And this is
I'm not
bizarre.
looking for a fair fight. If we get in a fight, I want to win it. I want to win it quick. I'm in Miami. You see this hat? Free Cuba. Stay tuned.
Yeah.
The liberation of Cuba is upon us. It's just a matter of time now. You see this hat? Make Iran great. President Trump said the only way to make Iran great is for the people to take over. We're marching through the world. We're cleaning out the bad guys. We're going to have relationships with new people that will make us prosperous and safe. I've never seen anybody like it. This is Ronald Reagan plus.
You heard this? We're marching through the world. Just straight up blatant. We made hats and we made gear. We're going to make money off of this. And we're going to make it popular. We're going to do public relations, and we're going to make it look good and help us do public relations to make this look as beautiful as possible. And we're going to market it as beautiful as possible. So all those people that fall in line and buy the Bibles and buy the hats could buy the hats and buy the merchandise and feel cool supporting this. Feel cool that we're going after so many different places, doing regime change across the world openly with no type of unabashed shame or no type of respect for any institution that doesn't agree with America.
Donald Trump is resetting the world in a way nobody could
Resetting
have
the
dreamed
world.
of a year ago. He is the greatest commander-in-chief of all time. Our military is the best of all time. Iran is going down, and
God is the only one that can reset the world. If you believe in God. And Lindsey Graham is always preaching Christianity and preaching that we have to be good people, that we have to follow the Bible. But where does it say in the Bible that we're supposed to go around the world, resetting the world and attacking different countries and changing and reorganizing countries to our liking, to make more money, to be more profitable for us, to make us richer? Where does it say that in the world? I thought it said feed the poor. I thought it said all these beautiful
Cuba
things.
is next.
Wow.
I'm not looking for a fair fight. If we get in a fight, I want to win it. I want to win it quick. I'm in Miami.
See, he's saying Cuba's next. We're going after any country that doesn't like us, that speaks out against us, that says anything we don't like. Everyone, subscribe to the channel. Subscribe, hit the like button, share this live. They kind of restricted me a little bit. They don't let me share it right now. They don't let me send it to other pages. So I count on you because they don't really want this out there, right? They don't want people putting out the information, gathering it, and then putting it out there so people can see it all in one place, right? So do share. And this is what happened yesterday.
It's an absolutely apocalyptic scene here. We've just made it to the Zohran oil depot, which was attacked last night in a massive wave of airstrikes. We heard those going on for about an hour, maybe an hour and a half with
So the strategy is we can't have the oil. We're going to destroy the oil. We're going to also destroy the oil. We can't have your oil, so no one can have the oil, right? That's the strategy. We can't have the oil. No one can have the oil. We don't care who starves, how many people depend on that oil, how much energy the country will lose as a result, how much toxic plumes or toxic air is going to spread across so many regions because of the wind. We're just going to make sure that we make people suffer as much as possible. And this, in the end of the day, is the regular working people, the poor, are the ones that suffer. They're the ones that suffer. Right? Let's listen to it again.
massive thuds and then explosions that we could hear. And that thick black plume of smoke, we saw that last night, and now we're actually seeing it up close. And what we're also seeing is that some of those destroyed storage tanks are still on fire. There's still flames originating from them. You can also see here that the area...
And conveniently, they were allowed to take shots of this, right? They were allowed to record this, right? When every other scene hasn't been allowed to be recorded, right? Any other area has not been allowed to be recorded. Isn't this crazy that they allowed this to be recorded, but they don't allow other areas to be recorded?
Around here is also completely destroyed. There's people here actually working on this electricity pole to try and get the electricity back. And then this tanker vehicle here also that is right in front of the gate has been completely destroyed as well. The front gate of the facility also in complete ruins. The facility appears to be completely in ruins now after these massive airstrikes. And again, still on fire, still burning. And you can see that thick black smoke through the entire city across all of Tehran. It's been raining this morning in
Crazy.
Tehran. There
Isn't
was
that
oil
believable?
mixed into the rain. So this is definitely
Oil mixed
a
into the rain.
massive incident that is still going on.
Massive
It's an
incident.
absolutely apocalyptic.
This is just punishing the poor people, right? This is just punishing the poor people, right?
See this, a driver heading straight toward what looks like a wall of fire after airstrikes on oil depots near the capital.
Wall of fire, right? That's all they could describe it, as a wall of fire. Let's watch this craziness that's happening. This is bizarre and unbelievable that we would stoop to this level of destruction just for the sake of destruction, right? And Trump has not ruled out ground forces either. He hasn't. Give me 1 second. We'll watch the video. I'll be right back. I really got to use the bathroom.
Another video shows gas catching fire, what appears to be on the streets there, with flames running up and down this entire boulevard. Iran is not letting up either. A reported drone attack setting this government high-rise building in Kuwait on fire. Look at that there. The Interior Ministry said 2 of its officers have died after Iranian attacks. You see this, a driver heading straight toward what looks like a wall of fire after airstrikes on oil depots near the capital. Another video shows gas catching fire, what appears to be on the streets there, with flames running up and down this entire boulevard. Iran is not letting up either. A reported drone attack setting this government high-rise building in Kuwait on fire. Look at that there. The Interior Ministry said 2 of its officers have died after Iranian attacks. You see this, a driver heading straight toward what looks like a wall of fire after airstrikes on oil depots near the capital. Another video shows gas catching fire, what appears to be on the streets there, with flames running up and down this entire boulevard. Iran is not letting up either. A reported drone attack setting this government high-rise building in Kuwait on fire. Look at that there. The Interior.
And so it just keeps going. How much money is this going to cost? It doesn't matter, right? In the end of the day, the United States does not care how much money it costs. It's like they're trying to send a
Ministry
message to
said
the
2 of its
world.
officers have died after Iranian attacks. See this, a driver heading straight toward what looks like a wall of fire after airstrikes on oil depots near the
Anyone that
capital.
opposes them is going to go down, right? That's the whole crux of the argument, right?
Questions are still mounting about who was responsible for a strike on an elementary school in southern Iran, killing at least 175 people,
still arguing
many
back
of
and
them
forth.
little children. Here is what President Trump and his officials said just moments ago on Air Force One.
Did the United States bomb a girls' elementary school in southern Iran on the first day of the war and kill 175
No, and based on what I've seen, that was done by Iran.
Is that true, Mr. Nixon? It was Iran who did that?
We're certainly investigating.
Still
But
investigating.
the only side that targets civilians is Iran.
We think it was done by Iran.
They got terrible video feed. Then Air Force One. This the pool reporters traveling with the president. And we know that the president likes certain reporters. And he allows some.
Are the U.S. and Israel winning the war in Iran? Well, the answer depends on how that is measured. Looking at the damage and the destruction to Iran so far, there are a lot of indicators in their favor. Now, our own reporting says about 40 senior Iranian officials have been killed. That was in the first hours of the war, and that includes top commanders of the
They're still
Islamic
surviving.
Revolutionary Guard Corps, people in Iran's security leadership.
So they're still surviving. They're still withstanding the attacks. And they're still sending drones back against the United States.
What are the circumstances where you'd send in ground troops? How are you thinking about that?
I don't even want to talk about it now. I mean, that's. I don't think it's an appropriate question. You know, I'm not going to answer it. Could there be? Possibly, for very good reason. Have to be very good reason. And I would say if we ever did that, they would be so decimated that they wouldn't be able to fight at the ground level. A lot of negotiating leverage, maybe maximum, but we're not looking to settle. They'd like to settle. We're not looking to settle. They're on their third or fourth level of leadership. And they have leaders right now that nobody even knows who they are. They're being decimated now.
So they're saying that they're going to do whatever they want to do. And if it's possible, we might have to send ground forces in, which will be devastating to the whole world, right? And one more service member was on the live today. I don't know if this is
We're going
funny.
to get the drug prices down, not 30 or 40%, which would be great, not 50 or 60. No, we're going to get them down.
This video is bizarre.
1,000%, 600%, 500%, 1,500%. Numbers that are not. We were getting ready to win this election. Frankly, we did win this election. I don't know if you saw the last numbers in terms of employment. We are building jobs at a level that nobody's ever seen before. We're going to get the drug prices down, not 30 or 40%, which would be great, not 50 or 60. No, we're going to get them down 1,000%, 600%, 500%.
Bizarre, right? That people are willing to eat the politicians' crap, right? Double tap on the screen, like the live, share the live, subscribe to the channel. Let's make this popular as long as I could go before they take it down, right?
Well, folks, things appear to not be going very well in MAGA land because now Kristi Noem is attacking Donald Trump after he fired her. I think Noem is finally realizing that if you have loyalty to Donald Trump, that is always a one-way street. He will never have your back. He will only keep you around as long as you are useful to him. And then after that, you are essentially worthless in Donald.
But she pretty much, how can I say? She was rehired, right? And not in America.
Trump's eyes. That is the MAGA cycle with Trump. I don't know how more of these people haven't realized this, but it happens every single time. And so now Kristi Noem is not only speaking out publicly, but she's also leaking information to different journalists. So I want to get into this story with you, talk about what Kristi Noem is saying. Before I do any of that, please make sure to subscribe down below, drop a like on the video, comment, let me know what you think about this story. Let's get into it. So first of all, before we hear from Kristi Noem and what she and her team are leaking to the press about her firing, let's just go back to yesterday.
She was on fire, though. She was on fire, you know? But she was still pissed off. She was pretty pissed off. But Trump, the next day, she was the special envoy for the SHIELD, Latin American envoy, right? So he named her to a new position.
Right, the day she was fired, and Fox News reported on the three main reasons why Kristi Noem was removed from her position. And it's also clear that somebody from inside the White House leaked this information to them and kind of threw her under the bus publicly as well. So let's hear what Fox News said were the top three reasons why Kristi Noem was removed.
Wasn't the soundbite we were looking for? We were looking for the testimony that apparently really upset the president, where Noem said, yes, we went through the legal process and did it correctly when asked if the president authorized and approved that $200 million in spending. He did not. He said that he was not aware of this campaign, certainly did not authorize it. And then there were also these rumors of an affair with Corey Lewandowski, special government employee who was serving as an advisor. He is also married, and reports floating the last several weeks that Noem had sought to appoint Lewandowski as her chief of staff, but the president blocked that decision amid these rumors of an affair. So the combination of those factors that tipped the president's decision to elevate Mark-Wayne Mullen into this position and get him confirmed. Martha.
Yeah, that's very interesting, Jackie, because, you know, the person that you're citing, the source that you're citing, and just tick off for us again the three things that they...
It would be a big distraction, right? That you gotta now pick a new person to run the it's gonna be a fight in front of the Senate, so it'll be easier for the Senate to run things the way they want to run things, right? It'll be easier for them to run things or they cause a distraction by having a big fight to have to confirm a new person to replace Kristi Noem, right? So it'll be a big fight. And so Trump is causing so many distractions and so many last minute distractions in the Senate and in Congress and in the world, right?
Told you went into this decision, because that's not really a soft pedal the way that it was described to you. Can you go through those again one more time?
Minnesota, her handling of the fallout to the deaths in Minnesota of Renee Good and Alex Preddy, the statements that she made in public calling them domestic terrorists before some of the facts had come in, and her handling of that scenario, the ad campaign, the $200 million that featured her on horseback at Mount Rushmore and claiming that the president signed off on it when he had not, and also the allegations of an affair with Corey Lewandowski. This person close to the president described these three things as a combination of her many unfortunate leadership failures. So less a decision to move her into a new role than to get her out of the one she had been serving in.
Yeah.
I mean, those are all some pretty serious reasons. And I've said previously, well, folks, things appear to not be going very well.
The MAGA world is still going to support Trump. Don't you understand? Don't you understand, people? This is a pattern. They're going to support him no matter what, right? Oof, I got to get through a lot of videos. I think this is going to be a long live, very long live. I have to get through so many videos, so many things are happening in the world, and even in New York City politics and New York State politics, and also worldwide politics, right? So let's say
Iran's foreign minister has confirmed what we all already know Donald Trump and Secretary of War Crimes Pete Hegseth did, eliminating those girls in that school.
Let's move to the strike on the elementary school in southern Iran. It killed more than 170 people, including many children. President Trump said Iran is responsible for that strike. What is your response to what the president said?
Well, it is funny. It is our school. These are our students, our girls, and they are attacked by an American fighter, a jet fighter, and they have been killed. Why Iran is responsible? Have we started this war? Have we attacked our own people? No, we were negotiating with the United States.
So NBC is in trouble right now because Donald Trump didn't like the fact that they allow him to be interviewed and dispute Trump's point of view and Hegseth's point of view. So they really were upset with NBC for allowing the foreign minister of Iran to be present in the interview. They told a lot of the news agencies to not give a platform and not allow them to be platformed at all, right? So they asked them not to platform the Iranian point of view, and news agencies are obligated to cover news in a way that is unbiased, right? Whatever happened to news agencies covering news in an unbiased way? What's so wrong about that? Why get upset for them covering and saying that they deny that they were the ones that did this, right? Let's see.
Mothers out there are worried that we're going to have a draft, that they're going to see their sons get in and daughters get involved in this. What do you want to say about the president's plans for troops on the ground? As we know, it's been largely an air campaign up until now.
It has been, and it will continue to be. And President Trump wisely does not remove options off of the
So it's like they're getting people prepared for possible ground troops in Iran, right? You let me know. You let me know, right? You let me know.
Table. I know a lot of politicians like to do that quickly, but the president, as commander-in-chief, wants to continue to assess the success of this military operation. It's not part of the current plan right now, but the president, again, wisely keeps his options on the table.
Mothers out there are worried that we're going to have a draft, that they're going to see their sons get in and daughters get involved in this. What do you want to say about the president's plans for troops on the ground? As we know, it's been largely an air campaign up until now.
It has been, and it will continue to be. And President Trump wisely does not remove options off of the table. I know a lot of politicians like to do that quickly, but the president, as commander.
So he doesn't remove options off the table. So there's a possibility that we might send ground troops into Iran. He's not. It's like they send them out on the Sunday broadcast to let people know that this is a possibility, to prepare people that not to be shocked if this happens, right? To prepare people mentally that they might be ground troops in.
We've spent $8 trillion in the
This was Trump before.
And we're not fixing our roads
in
this
2020.
Country? How stupid is it? And we're not fixing our highways, our tunnels, our bridges, our hospitals even, our schools even. It's crazy. We've spent $8 trillion in the Middle East. And we're not
Bernie Sanders
fixing our roads in this country. How stupid is it? And we're not fixing our highways, our tunnels, our bridges, our hospitals even, our schools even.
Bernie Sanders pointed this out.
It's crazy. We've spent $8 trillion in the Middle East. And we're not fixing our roads.
He wants to make sure to point out that that he is not telling us the truth, that you can't trust his word. And in New York City, there was some drastic stuff that happened. Several devices were found near the mayor Zohran Mandami's Gracie mansion, and there was a video circulating online of them throwing stuff. Right? Throwing stuff. Let me show you the video.
Devices, which were a bit smaller than a football, appear to be a jar wrapped in black tape, importantly, with nuts, bolts, and screws, along with a hobby fuse that could be lit. A counter-protester, identified as Amir Balat, an 18-year-old man, lit and threw an ignited device toward...
So this is in New York. They were having protests outside of the mayor's office. There were some white supremacist groups that were protesting the mayor. It was an anti-Islam protest. And so they decided to do it around across from the mayor. And then it got ugly after a few minutes of protesters and counter-protesters showed up, and it became a worse situation.
Area, landing in the crosswalk of East 87th Street and East End Avenue. Witnesses reported seeing flames and smoke as it traveled through the air before it struck a barrier and extinguished itself a few feet from police officers. Mr. Balat then ran southbound on East End Avenue toward 86th Street and gets a second device from a man tentatively ID'd as Ibrahim Nick, 19 years old. Mr. Balat lights the device and starts running with it. He then drops the device on the west side of East End Avenue between East 86th and East 87th Streets. Officers immediately secured the area, and they took both men into custody. At this time, we do not yet know whether the devices were functional improvised explosive devices or hoax devices, because we don't yet know if there was energetic material contained in them. In total, 6 arrests were made today in connection with the events. Those arrests include the 2 individuals responsible for handling and deploying the devices, the individual who used pepper spray earlier in the protest, and additional arrests related to disorderly conduct and obstructing traffic.
And it just kept happening, right? It just kept happening, and they gave an update that it was actually a incendiary device, and they found another one near the home of the mayor. So it's a bad situation, right? Because it's spreading across to other parts of the United States, right? It's gonna be ugly, and the mayor. Let me hear somebody else's point of view, perspective.
6 people were arrested during protests outside of Gracie Mansion today, and Commissioner Tisch just said that 2 of the people in custody are being investigated. 6 people were arrested during protests outside of Gracie Mansion today, and Commissioner Tisch just said that 2 of the people in custody are being investigated in relation to suspicious devices. Are you able to confirm if the mayor and the First Lady were home at Gracie Mansion at the time? Tisch says an anti-Islam protest with about 20 people was organized outside the mayor's home by Jake Lang, a pardoned January 6th rioter and far-right influencer. About
And he brought a goat.
counter-protesters met them there, and that's when Tisch said someone from the initial protest pepper sprayed the counter-protesters. And shortly after, authorities say 18-year-old Amir Balat lit and threw an ignited device towards the protesters. Witnesses said they saw flames and smoke coming from the device before it extinguished itself. Tisch described the devices as jars wrapped in black tape with nuts, bolts, screws, and a hobby fuse that could be lit. She said it's unclear if they were functionable IEDs.
So bizarre, or what? This is what's happening in the city, and this is the incident itself. This is what's happening in the city, and the chaos that's spreading, right? The chaos that's spreading across the country, and the politicians don't want to answer to what's happening.
Because they are building missiles and want to kill all of us.
They wanted to kill all of us? The U.S. intelligence said that there was no threat from Iran.
It's not true.
The Iran wanted to kill us?
Have you not followed the news? They put out all the time.
Yeah, well, saying something like that and actually doing something.
So people that are saying
American
they're building
slogan.
weapons and trying to build nuclear weapons and say they want to destroy America and we shouldn't take them seriously.
They were attacked
How
by
dumb
the.
are you?
They were attacked by the U.S.
How dumb are
and
you?
Israel while we were negotiating.
You think that it's okay for people to say they want to destroy us, and it's okay? We should just ignore that.
As long as they're
And
not doing
building
anything.
100 missiles. They're not doing.
It's crazy, right? It's crazy the way he's talking. It's crazy, the bizarre, and I don't understand why no one wants to take a stand and actually say what it is, right? I don't understand why people don't want to say what it is. Comment below, everyone. Comment, double tap the screen, hit the subscribe button. Hit the subscribe button. We need as many subscribers as we can. We need as many followers as we can so we can keep expanding. And I really do appreciate you all. What should I do? Okay. Nothing much. Keep going. Keep reporting. And that's just a reality. Senator Rick Scott, it's like all the senators are just going along like sheep.
You know why there's a lot of hatred to America? Do you remember 1953 when we overthrew their democratically elected government? And do you know twice?
Democratic Iran, Democratic.
Yeah, Mossadegh. 1953, Mossadegh. And do you know twice the U.S. was negotiating and then went ahead and bombed them during negotiations? Oh my God, he's so awful.
They're awful, right? These senators. And this is what people are really angry about.
We're going to win so much, you may even get tired of winning. And you'll say, please, please, it's too much winning. We can't take it anymore. Mr. President, it's too much. And I'll say, no, we're going to win so much, you may even get tired of winning. And you'll say, please, please, it's too much winning. We can't take it anymore. Mr. President, it's too much. And I'll say, no, we're going to win so much, you may even get tired of winning. And you'll say, please, please, it's too much winning. We can't take it anymore. Mr. President.
$4.79 for diesel, $3.79 for regular gas, $3.49 for regular gas. And this week is going to jump up, people. Expect the gas prices to jump up this week. Expect the gas prices to jump up this week. Everyone hit the subscribe button, the follow button. If you're on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and what other one I have? Instagram and TikTok. Hit the like button, share, like, and let's break this algorithm. All right, let's break this algorithm. Even if the algorithm doesn't like us, we're gonna break the algorithm and make it work for us, right? They can't suppress this forever. They can't suppress people's opinion forever. I appreciate you all. Thank you for joining me. We're almost through it, right? Maybe another half hour, another hour, maybe. Let's go through it. I'm loving it.
Well, Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem has been fired.
She was unfired. She's not fired anymore. She was unfired, everyone. She was unfired. She was no longer fired, even though they said she was fired. Then all of a sudden they changed their mind and they said she wasn't fired. That we're just making it up. But that's the messaging we're hearing, even on Fox News.
Wait, what? Why? I mean, name 1 to 20 things she did wrong. Was it calling the innocent guy they shot a domestic terrorist? Was it spending $220 million of taxpayer money on an ad campaign where she dressed up like Jessie from Toy Story?
Uh-oh. She's a cowboy. She's a cowgirl, right?
Happy riding the horse in this. I bet his name is Corey Lewandowski.
Uh-oh. She was a Barbie, right?
You know, on some level, I feel bad for Kristi Noem. Imagine being singled out as the worst member of Trump's cabinet.
Wow, they're picking on her. Poor Kristi Noem. But guess what? She was promoted to a new title. Now she's in charge of Latin American diplomacy. The Shield of America. A totally new office, a totally new department. I guess he's trying to send her on vacation, right?
That's like someone coming up to you at a party and saying, "We think you should leave. You're making Diddy uncomfortable."
President Trump said he will reassign Kristi Noem to be special envoy for the Shield of the Americas, which is a brand new department located on a farm upstate.
Uh-oh. Crazy. Is that
the CIA
crazy?
is reportedly working to arm local militias in Iran with the hopes that they will lead an uprising. Hey, worked great in Afghanistan.
Uh-oh. Wow, they're getting too crazy.
President Trump said that he should be involved in choosing Iran's next supreme leader. So congrats to new supreme leader Ayatollah Jared Kushner.
The prediction market site Kalshi is being sued for failing to pay out $54 million to people who bet that the Ayatollah Khomeini would leave office before March 1st, because technically he never really left the office. Oh, a lot of Ayatollah fans.
Crazy, right? Late Night's having a thriller with this one, right? This is a Trump supporter.
I just took this picture at my local gas station.
Is it a Trump supporter? I'm
now.
not sure. Is he?
Friday.
What do you think?
You stupid fucks.
Wow.
This is why we hate you, because you are the stupid fucks that voted for this, but we gotta fucking deal with it. Go fuck yourselves. I just took this picture at my local
People are angry and some people are happy. Who's happy? Who's angry? I don't know. Double tap on the screen, like the live, share the live, hit up the Cash App. Let me put it up there. $ Old Man Labor. If you want to hit up the Cash App, I don't mind. Help the program get off the ground. Since we're all going to be capitalists, right? So we might as well just put it out there, right? Old Man Labor, $ Old Man Labor. Thank you for supporting the broadcast, right? Now I feel like a politician fundraising all day, all the time, right? He's upset.
gas station just now on Friday. You stupid fucks. This is why we hate you, because you are the stupid fucks that voted for this, but we gotta fucking deal with it. Go fuck yourselves. I just took this picture at my local gas.
Wow. His prices are going even crazier. Let's see if what people are gonna be saying after this. Selfish plug-in.
All my life, in my life in Flushing, I wanted to stream snipe someone. So shout out to Chuck for
Stream
Queens,
snipe.
Running for Congress.
Chuck Park running for Queens.
Thank you for helping me accomplish my goal of stream sniping someone in my community.
Stream sniping.
Next time,
Chuck
stream
Park.
on Twitch. All right, donate to Chuck Park.
Chuck Park. Donate for Chuck Park, right? Chuck Park for Congress. In Queens, right? He's running a awesome campaign.
We have some news right now that I need you to spread everywhere. Maria Farmer, one of the Epstein survivors, she was right. And she was proven right tonight with the release of the Epstein files. There's a lot of talk about the negatives that we're seeing. The fact that this Department of Justice is working overtime to cover up the truth, not releasing the files. But there was one file released tonight that vindicated Maria Farmer, completely corroborated her public complaints. Back in 1996,
She said it, that Trump was involved in all types of craziness. And I don't think Iran is a big distraction. People are thinking that he did that in order to distract from the files and the attention, the media cycle hitting it up real good. So thank you so much, everyone. Double tap the screen, like the live, share the live, subscribe. I need as many subscribers as I can get.
Maria Farmer reported to the FBI, made a report against Jeffrey Epstein. For years, she said that she did that. Very few people in the public believed her. The media didn't fully believe her. She was called a liar. Her sister, Annie Farmer, another survivor, also said publicly that Maria filed this complaint in 1996. So many people could have been saved, prevented from this, if the FBI just listened. And guess what happened tonight? Maria Farmer's 1996 complaint was released to the public. She was right.
Wow.
She was right, even though everyone doubted her. The fight to release the...
Everyone ignored her, and the Epstein files are real. The complaints were real. They failed to investigate because the donor class, the rich, they didn't want them released. Who was president at the time? Was it Bill Clinton? Right? And this is just a little bit more fallout before I close out. A little bit more economic fallout. $100.
We have some
a
major
gallon.
news this evening. Oil prices are surging right now over $100 for the first time since 2022 when Russia invaded Ukraine. That means your gas prices are about to go up. That means your airfare is likely to go up as jet fuel prices rise as well.
Food.
Meanwhile, the stock market is set to open significantly lower tomorrow in the United States of America. Dow futures are down more than 700 points. It's not just Dow futures, the S&P 500, NASDAQ across the board. The market, The futures are signaling a market that is going to open much lower tomorrow morning than it closed on Friday afternoon.
Wow.
The Dow right now is over. The Dow is over $50,000. I don't know why you're laughing. You're a great stock trader, as I hear, Raskin. The Dow is over 50,000 right now. The Dow right now is over.
And I'll end with her, right? Right. I'll end with one of Trump's favorite cabinet members that just shows the lack of respect for the people, a lack of respect for society. I mean, we have
I just concluded a meeting with Border Czar Tom Homan. He came here because I initiated a conversation about our deep concerns about immigration enforcement in the state of New York while I was in the White House about 2 weeks ago. And as a result of that, we spoke on the phone, and he decided he would come see me in person so I extended that invitation. But I took the opportunity to make our position clear. First of all, I do not support open borders. We want to make sure that our borders are safe and secure. I do not support having individuals who've committed violent crimes remain in our state. They should be deported. But I also believe in a pathway to citizenship and the opportunities for people who are already here, who came with legal status, who are welcomed at the door and given a legal document.
Always on her nonsense, right? Always on her nonsense, always trying to protect the rich or the powerful, the elite, the same people always trying to be protected, right?
You're familiar with the public integrity section of the
There you
DOJ's
go.
criminal division. I think it
was a
referred to as
terrible
PIN.
mess, right?
Is that right? Yes. Okay.
Terrible
Do you know
mess.
which presidential administration
This cabinet, these are the ones running
under
the
which the
thing.
PIN was first created?
I can tell you what administration that the weaponization was ended under.
I'll reclaim my time. This wasn't a trick question.
You don't get to
Madam Attorney
reclaim
General.
your time. It
Madam
was,
Attorney General,
because I don't like it.
Is this embarrassing enough?
That
He does reclaim his time.
Because I don't answer a question to your satisfaction.
Mr. Chairman.
Madam Attorney General, the time belongs to the gentleman from Colorado.
The president
Are you all
under which
embarrassed
PIN
yet?
was created was Gerald Ford. It was created after Watergate. I'm not asking a question, Madam Attorney General. The administration under which it was created was Gerald Ford. When you first started as the Attorney General of the United States, there were 35 people working in that office. There are now 2 people working in that office because you have gutted it. How many people work for the National Cryptocurrency Enforcement Team in the criminal division today?
Can I answer the question about PIN?
I've asked you a question. How many
You've
people
asked me a
work?
question, but you don't
How
want
many
the
people
answer.
work
I'm not
for the
gonna answer your
National
questions the way you
Cryptocurrency
want.
Enforcement Team? You won't answer how many
I'll
people?
answer PIN.
You.
PIN will not be
You know what?
weaponized.
You know what?
What's
Madam
funny
Attorney
about
General,
this?
I'll say to the chairman.
What's funny about this?
Chairman, you know what the answer is, and I think I
What's
understand
funny
why the
about
Attorney General
this?
does not want to answer the question. You're familiar with the public.
Man, this is the people we have running things. This is the people we have running things, and we're proud of this. We're not embarrassed on this situation. We're not embarrassed. We're proud of how things are flowing, we're proud of the people that are representing us in government. We're proud of how things are flowing across the country. Are we proud of this? Are we happy with this situation? Are we? Why are we so happy with what's happening and the state of things? Right? Why are we so happy? Why we act like this is the best thing that ever happened to any of us? That we putting ourselves at risk, putting our families at risk. For what? To cover up the crimes of the rich and the people that don't really care if the majority of the world eats, right? Most people in the world survive off of $1 a day. That's enough money to feed a lot of people, right? And we're throwing down hundreds, thousands, millions, billions of dollars in causing destruction or causing greater problems across the board. We don't care. We just want to do whatever we want to do because we could do whatever we want to do. And we don't feel like anyone could challenge the status quo, right? No one can challenge the status quo. And that's just a reality that we're just on standby, right? We're just watching. We're just guests. We're just here waiting for the crumbs to fall off the table for us to be able to eat and survive. It's sad and totally disrespectful to everyone in this country that's paying taxes, that's supporting us, that's working within the country. Disrespectful, right? We could be paying for healthcare. We could be paying for so many programs with the amount of money that is being spent on these programs and on war and total destruction. They say history repeats itself over and over. History repeats itself. We allow it to repeat itself. We allow it to repeat itself. It's going to keep repeating itself. So I'll let you go with that. Like the show, share it, share the videos. Let's keep this journey alive and let's change the world together, because we can only change the world when we fight for what is right and what is just, which is hard because it's always being spun. It's always being spun. It's always being changed as to what is the truth, right? And everyone claims to have the truth and be the one's voice that we should listen to, right? Everyone wants to be the voice of the people, and most people don't want war. Most people don't believe in war. Most people don't believe in destruction of lives, of any lives. And call me a pacifist, but I think we should work on our diplomatic ways of handling things, not just coming to blows with each other, not just hurting each other, not just attacking each other, working together to make this world a better place, right? Love shall conquer all things. Love shall rule over everything and anything. But we just have to find that love that we have in our hearts. Once we find that love, then everything gets ruled by love. So I'll see you soon. I'll see you tomorrow. Share, like, and enjoy the rest of your night and the rest of your day. Thank you for standing by with me and listening to what I have to say. Have a good night, everyone. Have a good night.